Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, we're currently on our project, the Mazdaspeed 3, and today we're going to be installing the AUTOTECH high pressure fuel pump internals. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna go to Home Depot, get some tools that I found out that I need from the install video from Slip Carefully, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So for some weird reason, I don't know how this is possible, but Home Depot doesn't have inverted Torx bits. The closest set is 45 minutes away from here. It's kind of weird. I mean, you would think Home Depot would have tools, right? So, little update. Home Depot didn't have it, like I just mentioned, but Harbor Freight has it. I'm definitely going to Harbor Freight. They have it for like $3. It's literally one socket that I need for the fuel pump housing. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is, why do people shit on Harbor Freight? Harbor Freight is good, man. People shit on Harbor Freight for no reason. Like, the only things that you shouldn't buy from Harbor Freight are like torque wrenches. That's pretty much it. All the jacks that they had and the jack stands that they had that people say would break and shit, they recalled those years ago. I don't know why people shit on them so much, but I mean, they've seemed to work for me for every other install, and nothing's broke on me, and I can still keep using the tools. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll see you guys there. I take back everything I just said. Harbor Freight doesn't fucking have them either. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit up AutoZone, and if AutoZone doesn't have it, I'm just gonna jump off a bridge or something. Okay, after the multiple trips around town, I finally found a E8 reverse Torx bit. Please get all this shit the day before you do the install. I burned like easily an hour just trying to find a Torx bit, or an E-Torx bit. So big shout out to Advanced Auto Parts. Thank you for helping me out. So now I pull the vehicle in the garage over here to the right of me. I pop the hood. What I'm gonna do now is show you guys all the tools you're gonna need, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Starting from left, we got some 5W30 oil we're going to use when we actually change out the internals, some shop towels, some gloves, a torque wrench that is capable of torquing down to 35 foot-pounds, a inch-pound torque wrench that is capable of torquing, I think it's 80 to 97 inch-pounds, some unchlorinated brake cleaner, a clamp or a bench vise. You can use a clamp if you have somebody who's gonna come and help you. Jake is actually gonna come by and he's gonna help me do all this. Flathead screwdriver, that way we can gently try to move some of the hoses off to the side. 17mm and 19mm open-ended ratcheting wrench. We're gonna need a E8 E-Torx or inverted Torx bit, and an 18mm deep socket for the fuel pump housing. And always go ahead and get yourself a little light, and then a socket set. Just like how I say in every other install, the 3 rules: if there's a torque it. Make sure you have good quality tools. 2, if you don't know what is going on, make sure to ask a professional, or if you install something and you're not quite sure you did it 100% right, take it to somebody who's more qualified than you. And 3, do not go car broke. Spend cash, don't put yourself into debt trying to soup up your car. I know a lot of people that do, and they always regret it. First thing that we're gonna do before we do anything else, we're gonna remove the intercooler shroud, and then we're gonna take off the cover to the fuses, and we're gonna remove the fuse that is responsible for our fuel. We're gonna turn the vehicle on, and then we're gonna let it die. Oh my gosh, Bella's here, and Jake is here.
It's a dog mechanic.
It's gonna be 2 10mm bolts for the intercooler shroud, and then it's gonna be this cover right here, and I'll show you guys which fuse we're gonna take out as soon as we take this off. you look on the underside of the cover, you'll see this one right here where it says circuit. This is the one that we're gonna take out, and then we're gonna start the vehicle. Should be able to pop it out really gently with a tiny flathead. Just pry a little from the front, a little from the back. Should pop out. This fuse actually looks pretty good still. Like I was saying earlier, we already went ahead and removed the fuse. The car shut off. So now the fuel should be out of these lines right here and on the bottom. We're gonna take this battery out. So we're gonna take the box off. And then we're going to remove this MAP sensor. We're going to remove it right here where this clamp is. We're gonna remove this hose right here on the side of it. And then this one, I believe that's a 17 millimeter right there. Exactly where it is, where it's straight down there. It's a little clamp where the inlet connects to the turbo. And then there's gonna be a small hose that goes from the boost control solenoid. This is the Cobb one I put in. I'm only using the 2 ports. Over to the inlet hose. And then we should be able to get to our fuel pump housing and get everything out. If you guys have watched any of my videos from the last few years, you know exactly who this is. Say what's up. It's great. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take out the intake, we're gonna take out the turbo inlet hose, and then we are going to take out the battery. Then we should be able to get to our fuel pump. Didn't need to take out the inlet hose. I could reach this pretty easy. So you're going to use a 17 for the top bolt and a 19 for the bottom. You're gonna crack that loose. Then you're gonna take off this line and this line, and then 1, 2, and then one on the bottom, the E8 bolts with your reverse Torx bit and this sensor. Once you have that out, it should just slide on out. You can be a little stern when you pull it out. Just don't try to break anything. And then we're gonna start putting in our new internals. It's working. So when I was taking all the hoses out, I did get some fuel over the place. It was a little bit pressurized. It's okay. It's not gonna break your car. But you do wanna make sure, and don't be like me, make sure your car is nice and cooled down after a while. I wouldn't recommend this after driving. I actually did have to go out to the auto parts store today in this vehicle. It's my only car. I mean, I could have used my wife's car, but I didn't want to have to move my car, then move her car, and blah, yada, yada. So this is what it looks like right now. So I have some shop towels under here, behind here. Another shop towel is holding that little retaining nut on the bottom of the fuel pump housing. And then I'm gonna show you everything that you need to remove once again, and so you can see what it looks like when it's completely off the car. So this connector that goes right here, this hose, the hose that goes right here, I moved it out the way over here. Someone actually zip tied this. So I'm gonna have to zip tie it again. I don't feel like going to get the clip. I'll just zip tie it, it's fine. And then you're going to have the E8 bolts that are right here, and then one in the back right here. And then right at the top of your turbo inlet, you'll see it. It's like a little 17 and 19 setup right there. And then these two bolts right here. Man, it should slide out. Let's see what it looks like when it slides out. Boom. We got it. Get this. Hold it as firm as we can, like this with some shop towels. Jake's probably gonna stand on it. I'm gonna go ahead, use I'm pretty sure it's an 18 deep well. We're gonna take this off gently. We're just gonna crack it and then move it with our hands. And then we're gonna take this out and put the new fuel internals in. This is how I set it up with some towels right here and under it. So that way it won't damage the fuel pump housing. I'm gonna crack this sucker off. Got it out, no bench vise. So we took everything out of the box. We removed the old one, the very restrictive one. Got the retaining clip, the end, and then we went ahead and just twisted this on the underside. Came out, then we pushed, and this popped out pretty easy. Now we're gonna lube this up with some motor oil. We're gonna go ahead, slide it in. We're gonna add all this retaining junk, slide this on like this, and then we'll be ready to install it back in our vehicle as soon as we clean out the pump housing. All right, so now that we have everything put together with our high pressure fuel pump right here, you can see the internals are pretty. This little ring over the top, all you have to do is push this down. It'll lock in place as such. And then these two little locks right here, good catch, right? These two little locks right here, you just shove them in so that way it retains this and won't slide out. This goes in with the little hole in the side on the bottom. So then now what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean this out with some non-chlorinated brake cleaner. So we're gonna clean this in just like that. So we wanna get all this gunk out right here. Make sure we want something clean. See, we definitely need to hit it with some non-chlorinated brake cleaner. We're gonna slide this in with our fingers very gently, just like so. Then once we get it finger tight, we're gonna go in increments. So it'll be 10 foot-pounds, 20 foot-pounds, 30 foot-pounds, then 35 foot-pounds. So now we've torqued this to 35 foot-pounds. We'll put some motor oil around this ring right here, and then we're gonna slide her back in the car. I also forgot to mention, when you're putting in these E8 bolts, and you're just getting them tight so that way they're flush, you do not want to get one all the way tight and then move on to the next one. You want to do it in increments. I did about 3 turns a bolt until I got all of them flush and all of them snug. Now with the fuel pump housing back in the vehicle and our E8 bolts are in, they're not super tight. They're just in and then they're flush with this surface. We're gonna torque these 3 E8 bolts to 95 inch-pounds. Wow, that's pretty good actually. Oh my God, that was perfect. Let's see how close we got the last one. Oh, dude, that's what's up. For the nut that I'm referring to, it's this one right here. You gotta hold the top one with the 17 millimeter and the bottom with the 19. It's you can pretty much get it finger tight all the way to the top, and then once you get it tight enough, you will certainly know. No torch for this. Fuel pump housing is back in the vehicle. The lines are on, all the bolts are on snug. I went ahead and connected the tubing from the bypass valve over to the turbo inlet. Then what we're gonna do once we have everything back in the vehicle is we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna prime it for 10 to 15 seconds 3 times. Then we're gonna go ahead and drive it 100 miles to break in the new high pressure fuel pump internals. And then we're gonna go ahead and tune it to a stage 1 SF plus tune. All right, guys, the engine is all put back together. We're gonna go ahead and prime it, and then we're gonna start it up, and then we're gonna go for a drive. Oh, not on the hood scoop. All right, so now we're going to start the vehicle 3 times without pushing in the clutch. Boom. All right, let's turn on this access port. You see any leaks? No? Gonna hit our gauges. We're gonna do 6 now. Where's that shit? Oh, here we go. Nice. All right, so we're reading pretty good. So when you first install this, do not go over 4,000 RPMs for like the first 100 miles. It's gonna fuck some shit up. So allow it to break in, go ahead, put some fuel in your car, go for a little drive, and then that's pretty much it. All right, one last thing before y'all go. I'm gonna start up the vehicle, turn on your access port, and we're gonna remap it for the Stage 1 SF Plus 93 tune. Oh my God, dude. That is so bad, man. Oh God, get out of my car. Oh, get out. Okay, I had to open the door. All right, so we're gonna tune it. I'm gonna change the ECU map. So we gotta wait. All right, so we're gonna go down. See where it says Stage 2? We're not there yet. We're waiting for the intercooler. So we're gonna go down to Stage 1, 91, or sorry, Stage 1 plus SF 93. Wait for it. Yeah, it doesn't take that long, don't worry about that. All right, here we are, 99. Okay. Okay. Thank God. All right. Don't worry about it if you get this message. It's fine. Okay, clear codes. There is no codes. There's nothing wrong with the engine. All right. Sweet. Now we wait 15 seconds and turn it back on.
Walking out the 10 and blue Balenciagas. I caught her, I know I got blood on blue Balenciagas. Up that 40, let that pistol single melody.
I just took the vehicle around town. She is driving phenomenally. We're gonna go ahead and clean up, and then that's gonna be it. Stay tuned for the next vid.